the less we get, the more likely we're going to see you again. The gentlelady, Ms. Lee, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Director Dunham, I would like to direct my questions to you. On January 13th, 2023, the FBI's Richmond Field Office published an official document that linked radically or ethnically motivated violent extremists with what the FBI referred to as radical traditionalist Catholics. This proposed targeting of Americans practicing their faith necessitates oversight by Congress and raises serious concerns about Americans being able to freely exercise their religion without having unlawful surveillance conducted by agents of federal law enforcement. And as somebody who spent many years working alongside the brave men and women of the Bureau on the local level, we also here want to ensure that the FBI is directing its resources and its attention to helping protect our communities and keep our communities safe, as opposed to an undue or unwarranted focus on surveilling particular religious groups. So with that, is it correct to say, Director Dunham, this committee in fact sent a request for information to the Bureau on February 16th, 2023?
I believe that's correct.
All right. And in response to that request, to this date, the Bureau has produced 18 pages of documents. Is that right?
I think that's accurate.
All right. Among other things, this committee requested a list of the FBI investigations, local law enforcement agency reporting, and liaison reporting with varying degrees of cooperation and access that the FBI's Richmond Field Office relied upon to make its assessments. Have those documents been provided to date to this committee?
We've not provided those documents.
When will those documents be provided?
I don't have a timeline for you yet. In my letter that we sent last week, I mentioned that there's an internal review going on to get to the bottom of a lot of these issues that you referenced. And I anticipate having ongoing dialogue with the committee and with staff, and we'll be able to provide more information once that review is complete.
And Mr. Dunham, are you personally engaged in that review process?
I'm not.
Who at the FBI is engaged in that review process?
I'll have to take that back. I believe it might be through our inspection division, but I'll get back to you on that.
Right. And to this point, has the inspection division given you a date by which they will be producing these documents back to us?
I don't have a date for you, but I'll get back to you on that.
All right. Is it also correct that this committee requested a list of FBI employees involved in the drafting, reviewing, approving, or disseminating of the January 23rd, 2023 domain perspective entitled Interest of Racially or Ethnically Motivated Violent Extremists, Radical Traditionalist Catholic Ideology? We made that request to you as well. Is that right?
That's correct.
And to this point, have documents been provided in response to that request?
We have not.
Okay. When will those documents be provided to this committee?
That's something that I'll take back and I'll get you information on. What I'll say is that some of that information may contain what we call non-SES employee information. That's something that through practice and policy we're more protective of our employees to avoid having them become targets of our adversaries for intel or operational purposes, to avoid them becoming targets of harassment, to avoid any limitations they may have. It's been the FBI's position that decisions that are made are best reflected, best explained by the executives who direct those decisions. I anticipate having—
And certainly the FBI is capable of distinguishing between particular sensitive information it feels it needs to protect and that information which is something that is appropriate and necessary for us to engage in oversight, correct?
Agree with that.
And there are also multiple methods for producing and providing information to us that we've heard about, even during the course of this hearing, that could achieve both objectives of protecting the necessary identification information for agents who are out working in the field, but also ensure that as members of Congress, we have access to these vital documents to conduct our oversight, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, The Bureau's interest in this potential threat appeared to be increasing as there was an upcoming election. Can you elucidate for us why it would be that this particular subject was something that became of interest to the FBI as an election was approaching?
I'm not a subject matter expert on this topic. I don't have any inside information on the product. I think the Attorney General and the Director have been clear in their testimony when asked about this, that the product did not meet the FBI's exacting standards, and it was unacceptable, and that's why we're looking into how it came to be.
All right. Thank you, Director Dunham. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady. We'll start round two. I want to start by, just for the record, noting in response to some of the ranking member's allegations about sensitive material being made public, that